Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Alex. What's up, Alex?
Good evening, everyone, or good morning from the UK.
All right, so we got some news to talk about. One of them is that Marvel is making a big move for the Eternals. They're trying to get Oscar winner Angelina Jolie to join director Chloe Zhao's new film adaptation of Jack Kirby's The Eternals. No word. Actually, she probably would be Cersei, because they said the story basically revolves around Cersei, a fourth-generation member of the group, born during the Hyborian Age, who can manipulate cosmic energy to give her virtual immortality, invulnerability, and molecular manipulation. Now, as we know in the comics, Cersei was the most popular Eternal because she was an Avenger, and she was also Captain America's girlfriend, as I said before. So it would make sense to make her maybe be the main Eternal or the leader, being that she's the most popular of the group. So let's see. In the Marvel Comics, an alien race called the Celestials visited Earth 5 million years ago, performed genetic experiments on early forms of life, unlocking the ability for superpowered mutations to exist in creating the Eternals and the Deviants in the process. The two became enemies, and things get strange from there, basically. So that is what they're going to do now. As far as the way they're going to show Celestials, I'm not sure, but Angelina Jolie is huge, and to put her in the Eternals, that would be a big deal. What's up, Vaughn?
What's up?
Yeah, so Angelina Jolie, they're trying to get for Eternals.
I read.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I guess it's all right.
Yeah, she'd probably be the leader of the Eternals. Which,
possibly.
Yeah, she was, like I said, was the most popular that we knew of. So, all right, we're gonna switch gears now because you saw Captain Marvel and you saw us. So I want to get your reaction to Captain Marvel, basically first.
Okay.
A little bit, and then we could talk about us. So we're gonna so Alex, I don't know if you've seen those movies. We're gonna get into spoiler territory.
I don't mind us. I'm very aware of doppelgangers, so I know what it's about.
All right, so you don't care what we say?
I just listen to what you say.
Okay. All right, so let's start with Captain Marvel first of all. Spoilers, guys, because it's already been out for whatever. So what did you think of Captain? I don't know. Did we cover this a little bit?
I mean, when you saw it.
Yeah, but we didn't cover your review. Okay.
We haven't covered mine. Okay. I'm gonna have to be honest with you. It's probably one of the weaker Marvel films I have seen.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot of flash and trash. And I'm not, obviously you connected with it, but me, I didn't have no connection with it. It was more of a flashback type of thing, like it jumped back and forth and stuff. Okay. The acting was good. I give them that, but it is to me one of the weaker Marvel films I have seen.
Okay.
So,
is there anything you want to pick apart? Do you want to go into details with anything, or you just want to leave it at that?
I mean, I watched it and it couldn't hold my attention. That was the problem with it. Even though it was something about Captain Marvel that was like, okay, I get it. I see what it's trying to do, but it's like it's kind of weak in areas. I mean, I don't know.
The pacing wasn't right. At some point in time, the pacing got weird, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So I mean, to be fair, it's good for what it is. I mean, it's an opener for Captain Marvel. For them, whatever. Carol.
Yeah. Over Endgame Avengers.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, in the Endgame she'll do better. But That was kind of like a weak one for me.
Yeah. Well, let's get into now how us knocked Captain Marvel on her cosmic powered butt. Basically, she knocked Captain Marvel off the #1 spot. Captain Marvel right now has 918 million.
Yeah.
And as I said before, I kind of miscalculated because I thought, all right, last weekend she'd have 1 billion, but us made a lot more money than people expected.
Yep.
And she's also not making the money that she was. In fact, she's dropping quicker than I expected.
Yep.
Money-wise, where before they said it was a given, the $1 billion.
Yeah.
Now people are worried because she's going to make like $1 million a day, and we're getting into Shazam and Dumbo, and you know, she already made a lot of money overseas, so there might not be money coming from overseas now.
Nope. I think
she needs 82 million. 82 million, which that's going to be tough.
Yeah. Tell me about it. And then you got Endgame at the end of the month too.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got. She's got to somehow pull that out of her, because let me tell you, she's going to be 3rd place or 4th place, and these movies don't make a lot in 3rd or 4th place.
No, they don't.
And she already made a lot of money overseas, so I mean, unless she gets maybe 40 million overseas, which is kind of generous if that would actually happen, then she wouldn't have to do that much. Because let's face it, she'll probably get 30 million, like, from now till Sunday, right?
Yeah.
That's still shy. So, I mean, it's going to be very close. Maybe she just might make it. I don't know. But anyway, let's go right to us now.
Okay.
Because I loved it. Totally. And I was, like, into it, like, deep, you know.
I'm going to be very frank.
Sharon, don't listen to this. You heard me? I don't want to ruin this for her. Sharon,
cover your ears.
Sharon, don't listen.
Yeah, you might want to not listen to this part of it.
Yeah, this is gonna be deep. Okay. I gotta tell you, I friggin' love movies like that, where you gotta think and you gotta, like, whatever. I said this before. When I first saw Us, I knew right in the beginning,
David,
what the ending was going to be. I knew it.
In the trailer, if you paid close attention to what was happening, they gave it away that something was wrong with her because she was off beat.
Right. All right, so let's explain what's happening. So the story starts in 1986.
I think it's 86.
Is it 86?
Because
so yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say that because that's when the people across America started, I think.
Right. There was a thing they showed the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Which has significance.
Yeah.
They had the Hands Across America.
Yep.
Michael Jackson, Thriller, all these different elements. So basically, like in real life, when you're a kid, all these different things shape you. Like, you're like a computer and you're absorbing everything.
Yeah.
And whatever way you process that in your brain, you know, it could be processed the right way, it could be processed the wrong way, it could be whatever. You formulate your personality, you formulate everything based on what you take in, you know, and that's the person you become. Now, in this case, she had a dad who really was not really paying attention to her.
Really
like, he was into himself, and like a little kid, they're in a carnival, and he's playing it, and he doesn't give a shit. The wife kind of like, you know, hey, you got to watch your daughter.
Dad basically had like a failed dream because he had the child early that he couldn't achieve. I guess he wanted to play baseball, and he brought at the little stand that you know, tried to beckon her to go higher, and she would not go higher, and he was just so disappointed that he couldn't he couldn't do anything about that. And I was like,
so she wanted the little prize, and the little prize was the Thriller shirt, right?
Yeah.
She really wanted the Thriller shirt, and she had the red lollipop thing, right? Yeah. And again, everything we see on the TV is something that she watched.
Yep.
So there's this weird storm that, like, a different storm than any other, some type of weird electrical, magnetic, or whatever thing it is. And they have this outside by the beach. There's this thing, hall of mirrors and all this stuff, which connects to something else, which, you know, so she wanders off. The father doesn't watch. The mother, I guess, had to go to, your mother had to go away, right? To go to the bathroom or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. She said, just watch the daughter. He didn't care.
He didn't,
He didn't. He's not really, you know, back then in the 80s, you know, whatever. Yeah. So she goes off. She goes into this place, the hall of mirrors, and she gets to see a reflection of herself, but from the back side. So it wasn't mirrors.
No.
So she saw herself, but actually another her. She gets freaked out, right? Yeah. Flash forward. I mean, they show that she's traumatized. She can't talk. This is not my daughter. She's all this way. The father's just like, you know what, I effed up. He's trying like whatever we got to do because like I screwed up and I can't say I didn't. You know, he screwed up. You know, so the mother's just, they get psychologists, they get whatever, they want to get her back to the way she was. Flash forward to now. Oh, and back then too, there was this guy that had this young guy that had the Jeremiah
11-11.
Yeah, 11-11-11. Yeah. Right. The end of the world, whatever that was going to be, right? Yeah. So, you know, he was young and he had this thing, was religious nut on the beach. So now we flash forward and the family, the father, like the girl's like, you know, older now. She has a husband. She has 2 kids. Yeah. And he wants to go back to the beach where she grew up because he saved a lot of money staying at this house. And he got a deal and he buys a boat and all this other stuff.
It was her grandparents' summer house they were staring at.
Right. And she was traumatized because this event that affected her. She was scared. She didn't want to do it, but she gave in. And you could tell it was weird because her son is sort of like her.
Yep.
Like totally. Like just quiet, scared, different things, you know.
Something different, but
different.
Something. We're going to talk about that later, but it's something that came up about that. But,
we're spoiling this. So, you know, she had this bad feeling. She starts freaking out. She tells the husband, look, you know, this happened to me, you know, and he's like, oh, you know, because he sort of like doesn't know what the F to do, you know, because he had smooth sailing with you know, this marriage and this kids, and now all of a sudden his wife sounds like a nut job. Yeah. He's like totally like, oh,
he was in bed.
Okay.
He was in bed trying to get laid, and she starts
right, and he was just like, like what the hell? I'm not. Oh, I signed on for this shit. Like, you know, so, and he's like thinking she's fucking batshit crazy. Like, oh,
yes.
You know, but hey, okay, we could do what you want to do, like whatever. So, I mean, you could basically start saying what's happening now. I mean,
yeah.
So,
then, okay, so after that little ordeal, she goes in, she puts her in the bed, she tells Zora, okay, well, you know, turn off the phone. She does, and then as any normal teenage do, cut the phone back on. She goes into her son room. That's where it gets kind of interesting. Her relationship with her son is like a bond between people. She's in bed with the son, and this is gonna be important because she tells him that nothing will happen to him at all. Yeah.
So you know what it is? You know how like if there's 2 kids in a family, one kid is like the dad, and one kid's like the mom. The daughter is like exactly the dad.
Yes.
And she's probably closer with the dad.
Yes.
Like completely. That's like daddy's girl. This is mommy's boy. Like that's basically what's going on.
Okay, so after a while, so I think the conversation with the parents happened minutes before the intrusion because that
before that, why don't they met up with their friends on the beach?
No, well, yeah. That happened at night. Okay, so I want to explain this because this is that's my boy. So anyway, okay, so we get to the beach. It's earlier that day. Okay, so we get to the beach, and this is an interesting dynamic between the four of them. They meet these friends called Kitty and Josh, the Tyler. They have two twin daughters that looks like they're the Doberman twins or something.
Right.
They okay, so they meet which took convincing from Adelaide because she didn't want to go to the beach in the first place because of her past traumatic. He actually convinced her, hey, let's go to the beach and we'll go back before nighttime. So anyway, they get to the beach. They're talking. Kitty, the dynamic between this family and them is that Josh is Gabe's boss.
Right.
So both of them have this dynamic that Gabe aspires to be like Josh. He wants the boat. He wants the house. He wants everything. So they kind of like in competition. But Josh and Kitty are shithead people. Right. They care less about anybody else. They're socialites. They're higher up in rank. They have more money. You see the disparity, kind of like the class situation that we're going to see later. So anyway, okay, let's move forward a little bit. Okay, Josh, Kitty and them are talking. And then all of a sudden, coincidences start to happen. Right. One big coincidence is that a Frisbee is thrown right onto a blue square.
Yes.
Red. So she looks around and then something is like not right. And then meanwhile, the kids, Zora, the twins, and Jason are on the beach, and Jason is building a tunnel. That's another thing. So when the twins confront Jason about this tunnel by accidentally knocking the sand over, he goes away. And then they go to Zora, and Zora is like, it's just him, And then they start both becoming like the weird shiny twins and start repeating.
Yes.
It was weird. So anyway, to make a long story short, as any child would do, old boy starts to walk alone by himself towards the mirror house. So as he walked towards that mirror, we see, let me just back up a little bit. Earlier that day, as they was coming into that little town, you see an ambulance.
Yeah.
And somebody just got killed.
Right.
It's going to be important. He comes up and see this man in kind of like a crucifix pose. But he's strange. And he has like the red jumper. He's like standing there, and it's just like he's in position for something. And blood is dripping and everything. And then that's when, during this time, Adelaide finds out that Jason is missing. So,
that guy that died was the Jeremiah guy. For her childhood. He's like years later. He's older now, an older man that he died. He was killed or whatever, and he had the Jeremiah 11. Yep. So now that was a coincidence. The Frisbee was coincidence.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, they reunite, and after Adelaide, get very worried, she finds Jason, and Jason is like,
she thought she couldn't see him. That was the whole thing. It's like he ran off. She was worried. Oh my God, this kid's gonna go in the whole mirror thing again. She freaked out, and again. He can't be locked in a room. He gets scared. He's like her, like he's exactly like her, and she does not want him to be traumatized like she is. So that's her special. She'll protect him to the end of time type of thing. Whatever. Yeah. So she finds him, but
So that's it. They go back. Everybody go back home, and then we're gonna fast forward a little bit because we're gonna fast forward to that moment before, after their conversation in the bedroom. The boy comes in, where they walk out, and the boy comes to say, hey, there's a family at the door, and that's what you see in the trailer. And then that's when we get to we don't get to, this is like the end of the first act, where this family, Gabe tried to be Superman after all of it. He goes out and try to confront this family. And he
Right.
does it nicely at first.
Right. Few times.
Where Ale is on the phone and trying to call the police, and they took her 14 minutes. They're 14 minutes away. And she's like, "No, there's nobody." So, and all of a sudden,
he's like, "Don't call the police." And then,
don't call the police.
Right. Then he gets scared. He's like, "You call the police." He's like, "I'm gonna bust your head." You know, he has the bat and everything, and all of a sudden you hear a sound effect. Yeah.
So everybody, okay, so these people are superhuman, and they are the exact carbon copy of Adelaide and everybody in the household. They're doppelgangers.
Right.
With superhuman strength, people are climbing the damn trees. They can run fast.
They are fucking sick. It's like Exorcist, like climbing around, fucking freaks. Yeah.
Somehow they broke into the house successfully, and then here's the story that really just made me thought at this point, you know, what the hell is like really going on when her name is Red. Gabe's doppelganger is Jeremiah. Zora's doppelganger name is oh goodness, I used to know this name. Where's
I know.
Name?
I know.
Yeah,
they all have different names.
They all have the Pluto. Red is no, her name is Umbre. That's the name. Right. That's her name. So this is their names, and so Red, Adelaide's Umbre, starts telling the story about how her life down in that world was.
But she talks weird.
She talks weird,
and talks very weird. Like she can't speak. Weird. Really,
which you'll learn.
Like, yeah, you'll learn.
You'll learn. It's like a hoarse kind of raspy voice.
She has a scary voice, and he basically wants to punish Adelaide and her family, and basically kill them, make their lives a living hell. I think she just wanted to kill them all, but like torture them slowly. And then she'd be alive to see everything that's going on. Main thing is that she handcuffs her to the table.
Everybody has. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody has a challenge. Like Zora and Umbre has to run out. Zora have to outrun.
Everybody has to face their doppelganger.
Doppelganger, yeah.
And what you think is, you think the husband's like a weak piece of crap. But then, but you see what goes on. The son now has to, deal with his doppelganger, which has like a mask on. It's like a creature. Now, the son always played with fire, but he can never light it. But the other guy
can do it.
He got to do it where we find out he burns his face off, which is why he's got a mask on. So they're all connected, and originally I thought that was it, or maybe, but it's not. Like, there's duplicates of everyone.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the end of the first act. That little scene when they break off. Okay, so we go to houses down. Like when you at the end of the first act, you can hear somebody screaming like a Velociraptor. Go to him, because he did his thing. This second act is so bomb. I love the second act. Because here's the thing. All right, so all this chaos is going on, everything. We get to their friend's house, which we have my boy Josh chilling, drinking his stupid ass on the damn couch. And Kitty is upstairs saying, "Hey, the generator done went out twice. Are you not going to check this?" This idiot,
you be a man and take care of it. Right.
Stand up for yourself. No, this idiot decides, oh, well, I'm going to sit here. I'm just going to chill because, I don't have to worry about shit. Ain't nothing's going to happen to me.
Right.
Get your ass up there. All this crap and stuff. So he goes down to confront him in the downstairs part. And finally, Josh gets up, reluctantly go over there to the go outside or look outside the window, because he don't even leave the house. I think he might left the house and then came back in, and then plays a prank on her, saying, "Oh, something is out there. I believe you," and then all of a sudden make an O.J. Simpson joke.
Right.
On top of that.
That was great.
It was great. Okay, so and shout out to Tim because he's about to rock this scene. This is the greatest scene ever. Okay, so anyway, so Josh and Kitty is bickering. Then we have the government twins coming out of their bedroom saying almost the same thing. Hey, something is wrong. The generator's going out. Okay, so the last thing that Josh does, and I might be wrong about this, is start Ophelia, which is their version of Alexis. So he tells Sophia to play Good Vibrations.
Right, the Beach Boys.
So let me tell you how every time, every review says the scene, it's called the Good Vibration scene because when you hear that song come on, shit hits the fan right there.
Oh, yeah. You got the doppelgangers just come in and kill them. Like, boom! Like, da-da-da-da-da! Like, and it's like you have the girl, the mother is scraping across the floor while the thing is playing the music. And it's amazing.
Play Tex, because that's my boy. Yo, Tex is fucking smooth when he does what he does. Okay, Kitty is dead. The last image she wants to be, the last person she wants to be by is her husband. Even though they arguing bigger, she deeply loved her husband. So she's trying to doing this crawl over to his, what you see in the trailer, her crawling to something. And then it goes to like this Jesus moment with Mary, where she goes all the way up to his sandals. And then you look up and you see Tex, who is the doppelganger for Josh. And all of a sudden he grabs his hand down, and then all of a sudden, just as he's about to touch her hand, he just goes like this and just slick his hair back. I was like, whoa,
that was great.
What the hell is going on?
That was not, yeah.
And the one thing about these doppelgangers that we haven't discussed or we may have is that every bad thing that's in this couple has been amplified. Not Tim, I'm sorry, that's the actor. Josh is a prankster. He's very unsavory. He's a drunk. So in this doppelganger, you see him being a drunk all the time. You don't see him kind of like being subtle with his movements. He's always like doing like a drunken, I forgot what you call it, borracho, kind of like the drunken karate. So, and Kitty is vanity. So every time you see her, she's amplified to be vanity. Like she's an actress. She aspires to be whatever Kitty was. Well, not Kitty, darling.
Still getting work done on her face, basically.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, they're dead, and then the Wilsons escape during this time. And unfortunately, some are dead. I think Jeremiah dies during this point because Gabe and Jeremiah is fighting during this whole time. And so they made it to the Wilson's house. And this is the part that really fails for me too. Because if this is supposed to be a switch, wouldn't they should have killed them earlier than that so they can do the switch and make Wilson think that it was still them?
The thing is that Red... what's her Adelaide, like Red, right?
Red.
She, the whole thing is that she had this plan. She's the leader, right? She wants revenge. Okay? Right. She wants them to suffer. So at the expense of the plan, while the plan is for all the doppelgangers to kill their doppelgangers immediately, her plan is to break down her break down to emotional trauma, screw with them, where not just kill them, like play with your food, to where like you break them down, then they're dead. But she would have the mother alive to watch all this or show her, look, there your kids are dead, everybody's dead, and then she would kill her. Because it's a weakness. It's bless you. And you're like, well, why the frig is she want to have revenge? Like, what the hell is that about? Which we learn now. Like, without going into saying every single detail about the movie, right? The whole thing is that the movie starts after the girl counters her doppelganger in the beginning. You see all these bunnies. You see all these bunnies. There's million bunnies, and there's this weird, disturbing chant, like it's a friggin' cult thing, whatever. there's a little words in the beginning of the movie that says that it is said that there is tunnels under every single thing, and there's like a whole civilization that's been living since World War II or whatever, under the ground, everywhere.
To me, that's where it falls apart at, because I understand there's tunnels, and I understand that there was some kind of freaky experiment going on, but to say that they somehow this experiment required them to have copies, exact copies, and the fact of the matter is they birthed the exact same copy is kind of weird. I mean, there's no way in science that you can have an exact copy of something, unless it's black magic or something. But
well, see, the thing is, the scientists tried to clone people for whatever weird purpose. They developed all these things down there. They tried to clone everybody, but what they didn't realize, like we were talking off here, right?
Yeah.
What they didn't realize was that they can clone everyone, but they cannot clone the soul.
Yeah.
Meaning that that person that they cloned is like connected to the person they cloned, and they're sort of like have a little bit of the soul part, like they're connected, right?
Yeah.
So, like everything that the people experience above, these things have no sense of control, and they're just doing everything in the basement. That's just whatever. So it was a failed experiment that the scientists, I guess, for whatever, maybe they did this since World War II, maybe they did this to try to defeat or take over or whatever, and it didn't work out, and they just said, screw it, and they abandoned the project. And it took this massive storm to kind of affect the clone of the girl, right? Which, if you want to explain how all these people are cloned, it's very simple. You could always just say, look, you know how when you take blood and everything, where's that blood go? Like, probably you're cloning everybody and putting them on an island or something. Well, whatever. Like, you don't know what happens with your blood. You could be cloned and sent on another planet or whatever. Like, they could be having a whole civilization where there's a me, there's a you, there's whatever. They're cloning. Even though they're not supposed to be cloning, they clone, right? So that could be possible.
If we are talking about, see, that's the thing. I would have liked more explanation to what happens below, because even to set that up with the Tylers, like their doppelganger, Tex and Dahlia, they had to be in that vicinity to basically carry through. And I know it had to been. I don't know how she would have pulled all that off to even have that communication broad enough, because we know that from what we saw, they can only grunt. They can scrawl like a...
Yeah, they can't talk. They can't really communicate.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless she somehow taught them how to communicate effectively and it out.
Like, she basically stopped the signal that... Yeah. Like, she helped sever the link from the tethered, which is the clones, to the real people.
Yeah.
And she tried to train them and for decades, to basically have this plan, and should we get to the end? You want to we'll talk about that, or
let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
And I mean,
I don't want to explain every single thing, but here's the bottom line. Yeah. Ultimately, even though she severed the connection, technically they are still connected to the main people, which was the son was smart enough to start controlling the tethered, the clone. Because when he went backward, the other clone went backward.
Yeah.
And he basically killed his other counterpart by making him go into the fire. Because ultimately the Adelaide Red was not there to break the connection, so all of a sudden it was like reestablished.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the biggest thing was, is that's why all the clones had to kill their counterparts, because the signal could be regained,
right?
And then they would not have consciousness. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, when they had this link, like if people were going on a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
The clones that were in the bottom were just shaking like they're going on a roller coaster, but they're not. So they had no control. They just were connected to the main thing because there's no soul. They had no soul. So that was the whole point, is that they cannot control the soul, but they had a piece of the soul in these clones. You know what I'm saying?
And then my mom's coming in. Hold on 1 minute.
Yeah. So, Alex, it sounds interesting, huh?
Yeah, it does, but I'm having connection problems.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is the aspect of how everything fits together. It's an amazing piece. How they intertwine all this stuff, and it's just the way the acting ability. You know, they're amazing. They should get Oscars. It's like, you know, the main actress definitely should have an Oscar. I mean, she did. You know, after this was over, I heard that she needed therapy or something. It was a crazy thing. Yeah. So, all right. So let's explain this. So basically, what happens? Should I explain about?
You go ahead. I mean,
okay. So here's why we're gonna call Adelaide red, because all the clones wore red, right? So the reason for this revenge is very simple. When the girl went to the funhouse, the other clone, they were drawn to each other. Okay. What you didn't know is that the clone choked the girl, brought her to the thing, handcuffed her to the bed, took her Thriller shirt, put it on, and took her place. So, because she couldn't talk, she was the clone that was living in the real world, taking the girl's life away. And as time went on, she buried that in her subconscious as trauma, didn't realize she was the clone, and she went on to have this whole life that was supposed to be the real girl's life. And what happened was, because she choked her, she damaged her larynx, where she couldn't completely talk. So because she wasn't a clone, she was not connected like that. She was able to create. She wanted revenge. She basically ruled over the whole people. She trained them. She learned everything that she was going to learn as if she was in the real world, like ballet and all this other stuff. Yeah.
And the reason why they called her the Messiah is because there was this one moment where she was allowed to dance.
Yes.
And she had complete control over her movement. She wasn't being dictated by, the untethered. She was acting independently from everybody else. So the people who was around her at the time called her a Messiah because she was supposedly tethered that broke the link. The first one to break the link.
Yes. So now the big shocking thing is the hero of the movie is actually the clone that basically she's kind of the villain in a way, because she ruined the girl's life, and the girl became a villain to try to, when she saw on the TV the Hands Across America, she adapted that to a take over the world thing, especially with the, like she looked like, kind of Thriller, like her eyes were open, she was scary, like the zombie type. The scissors was a symbol of, cutting and like together, like, joints. So that was the whole. It gets kind of complicated, because when you're thinking about it, you're like, well, wait a minute. If the scientists abandoned this place, how are there still cloning going on? Because that's the thing. Did she give birth to those kids that were exact copies, which would not make any sense because the sperm would be different? They couldn't exactly have the same exact moment it happened, period. That's weird.
How did she survive a C-section?
Right.
Because remember,
she said she had a C-section, right?
She had a C-section. She had to perform it on herself, apparently, to get the baby out. I'm like, without medical treatment or anything, you survive a C-section, you'll be bled out. How?
See, that's where it gets complicated. Like, it's like, did she basically break the connection with them, where if there was a doctor down there that was connected to a doctor up there, they were able to save her, like what? So, and again, it kind of gets confusing too, because it's like, it's like how it.
I was about to say, especially when you add the Tylers into this mix, because there's no way that unless they're Untethered was in that facility, there is no way that they would have known. I mean, I guess they have known each other for a while, but if you're going by, that life experience, or maybe they was also the tethered was kind of like unlinked to them,
Well,
so
I think she sent scouts out every now and then to go to the surface world to observe. Like that's why the guy killed the guy, Jeremiah, whatever. Like she sent them out ahead of time to do stuff, certain things, to plan it out, to do all this stuff. But the plan fell apart because she, like, in the end, she died. And the real right. But the weirdest thing is, though, now how does that work? Where the hero was actually the villain, and she actually gave birth to these kids. Now these kids, tethered / like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, because even so, if that's where it falls apart for me, is because even so if they was tethered, it. I mean,
and wasn't that house their house?
Yeah,
because they're like, we were living here. What, like, in other words, I guess the tethered was living amongst the people. Like they were planning things, and that was their house the whole time, so they knew how to get in. And like, we're Americans, it's like, what? It's like there was weird things going on, but it's a shock value at the end, and it makes you think, and it's when the movie's done, you're still trying to replay things. I'm like, well, how did this happen? And the rabbits, basically, I think, was because the rabbits reproduce so fast that would be the best food source for them to eat. It's just rabbits.
It's just basically. It kind of made me kind of sad for them, because if they are weak, like, she had no control over Jeremiah. Like, Jeremiah just came up to and raped her, basically, to have this child. And it's like, okay, well, you are human, but how did you? I mean, it had to have been a battle or something between those two, because he must have been around her or something for that to happen,
right?
Or he just showed up out of nowhere, and then he's marking the movements of what's going on. So I mean,
it's weird. It's weird. You can't explain everything, and now people are trying to say in these videos that Get Out and
are
connected
by the experiment, like the what they call themselves, the Templar, the Red Alchemists.
Right, the Red. Right, exactly. They always wore red, which he did want to have his own universe, right? So I mean, there was talk of him having his own universe,
It is, but I see what they're trying to say with Get Out, but I mean, okay, if these scientists are doing this and then abandon it at some point, how would that universe fit? Because I know that they was trying in Get Out, it was totally different what they was trying to do with the people, which is is just up what they was trying to do. But to say that these same group of people are also responsible for what's going on in the tethered universe, that would mean that if these two universes overlap, then you have the same thing happening down there as it is up there.
Which would have to be addressed if you do a Get Out sequel.
Exactly.
Which I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to make it.
I don't think they're going to do a us sequel. I think it's going to be kind of like the social commentary part of it. But I don't think that you might see a little bit of the Easter egg from Us, and you might see an Easter egg from Get Out. But I don't think
like he named a company after like the stuff from Get Out. Like that he has a company now that has. So again, we did hear that he's doing a Get Out too. Like we did hear that that's going to happen at some point.
He's seriously doing a Get Out too?
I mean, that's what's been going around.
That should remain a one-off movie.
Exactly. But I think he's trying to push them not to do it. But because he doesn't want anybody else to do his sequel. That's as an artist, like you'd be like, man, I got to do it. We got a comment, KP Starfleet. I'm sorry, Vaughn. He's just saying, let's see. How much are you guys paying for tickets to a movie theater in your areas? The high admission price now is one of the main reasons I don't go to the movies that much anymore. Well, I paid I didn't go to the newest movie. But I did go to like one I always go to. It cost me $12 to go see the movie, not counting candy or anything like that.
Sorry.
$12.
Okay, so I can answer this question. Captain Marvel, I saw it for like $5 because
Oh, wow.
it was on special night. Yeah, I was surprised too. It was like $4.49 or something like that. And then Us was $9 because it was midday.
Okay.
It was like early afternoon time. My friend, depending on where, see, it matters if you do standard, you'll come out cheaper. But when you add surround sound and stuff like that, my friend ended up paying $20 to see Us.
See, my thing is that $12 is the matinee price because the other thing is just a lot more.
Yeah.
So there is no cheaper than, we don't have that anymore. I used to have $6 going to the movie, $6, and when it was like that, it was like, oh yeah, man, let's go see go see everything. But no, these movies. I mean, I tried to go to matinee basically because I don't want to spend $20 for a movie, or more, which it could be. So yeah, I saw 2 movies in March. I saw Captain Marvel and I saw Us. And I do plan. I'm not going to see Dumbo because
I'm not doing that.
That's something I can watch on cable when it comes out or whatever. I won't even buy it on DVD. And we're hearing some bad mixed reviews of that too. So the next movie that I see will be Shazam, I believe.
Mine's gonna be Endgame.
What is it gonna be? Endgame?
Yeah,
it's going to be Shazam. It might be Pet Sematary after that. And there's other things too. There's Hellboy. Endgame I'm definitely seeing. So might be in the movie theaters 4 times in April. I'm not sure. Because again, I'm a horror nut, so I want to see Pet Sematary also. So remake, reboot, whatever. And we got a lot of stuff to come after Endgame too. I mean, we got the Spider-Man movie.
For choice.
What's that?
They're spoiled for choice.
We got Spider-Man. We got the X-Men. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to. So it was funny. Maisie Williams came out today because they were asking her what the hell is going on with her friggin' movie. She's like, the F I know when it's coming out or some shit. She said, I don't effing know. And it's like, what? She's like, I have no effing clue. And it's like, oh. And she's like, listen, they got reshoots to do, but they got to wait for everybody to be ready. I don't know whenever it effing comes out. I don't know. Like, she's being honest. Like, I have no fucking clue when it's coming out. So, okay. There you go with that. She says, who knows when the F it's going to come out? That was her direct quote, which is hysterical. So New Mutants is in trouble. That is definite. So, yeah. Angelina Jolie, that is a good move. What else do we have? Lifetime plans of Salt and Pepper and Clark sister films.
What?
What kind of, what is this? What are you talking about? Isn't it Salt and Pepper and Spinderella?
Yeah.
Spinderella? Okay.
It's been a while.
Oh, so a Clark, so they're doing a biopic of the Clark sisters.
Yeah.
There you go.
That would be interesting. I love the Clark sisters.
There you go. Queen Latifah is executive producing a miniseries about the famed 1990s female rap duo Salt and Pepper.
Famed 1990s. They came out in the 80s. I love it. Yeah.
I love it how these articles are. These young kids are trying to write about something they know nothing about.
Yeah. They came out in the 80s. They had a lot of hits in the 80s. What are they talking about?
Do their research.
This is terrible. God damn. Yeah. 90s. Okay. Whatever.
Hey, from the 90s.
What do you know? Yeah. I'll be sending an email to them tonight. I remember when, and I love Dark Horizons, but I remember when whoever wrote the piece got said the DC heroes were from Marvel, and I'm like, what? I lost my shit with that. I was like, oh, hell no. You don't even do that article unless you know that that's, you know, Jesus. All right. So what else do we have to talk about? Not that much, I guess, right? Oh, yeah, Star Wars. Star Wars. We got the Star Wars poster.
Yeah.
So earlier today, which, did you see it, Vaughn?
No, not
Looks
yet.
really nice. I'm going to show it to you on here, okay?
Yeah, I think you might like the poster, Bond. It's
I have it. Okay. So here we go. Let's screen share this. Just give me a big picture. Hold on a second. I hate when these people just. All right. Let's take this off. And okay, here we go. So here's a screen share of the poster. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. So you got the Knights of Ren. The only thing I was saying, and people are like, why are you picking? Well, where is R2-D2? Where is Lando? I guess Captain Phasma's not in there, or is she? I mean, I don't know. I just was like, it's a nice poster. Then the Knights of Ren is going to be in it. That's great. Poe and Finn, that's great. Chewbacca, but where's R2-D2 and where's Lando? I guess that's Lando's daughter in the background, I guess.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the Stormtrooper standing in the...
They're red.
It's not just the red one. It looks like a throwback to the original series.
I mean,
judging by the helmet.
They kind of look, I don't know. I think they look different, though. You think they're like a throwback to the original? I don't think so.
The helmet looks like a throwback to the original series. Plus,
I thought the helmet looks different actually than the original series.
Only the one in the front, not the rest of them.
That's what I'm talking about. Not the ones on the side. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't know.
I think it's that slot down the middle that reminds me of it, kind of bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if we can get a better. I just want to get a better thing so I can show. I want it blown up. That's I don't want to see a video. Okay. I just want to show a bigger. You know what? Let me go into my Facebook because I have my son sent it to me earlier today. So if I can get that, then. Well, anyway, I mean, I think it's gonna be good.
Did you see the new the in-game posters that came out?
Yes, recently? They're awesome.
They're good.
They are awesome.
People was shocked to see Shuri, the one who disappeared. They thought she was missing, and now she's like gone with the rest of them. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the other thing. So this is when you sent it to me, Alex. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It looks.
It's just the one in the front.
What?
It's just the one in the front, kind of.
I know what you're talking about. You said the ones at the bottom, the red. I know what you're saying. They don't look the same.
No, it's just that one standing out in the front.
Just what? That looks different.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Captain Phasma. Maybe.
I thought she got thrown down into it.
I don't know if she died. That's up in the air. I doubt it.
I've noticed one thing. It looks like you got a Y-wing to the right.
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't understand why R2-D2's not in there though. That's kind of weird because he's in everything.
Yeah. Is Chewbacca in there?
Oh, you know.
Chewbacca's in the back. Yeah.
Chewbacca is going to be at Fan Expo.
But I don't understand why R2-D2, unless maybe, you know what, maybe this is not the complete poster, because if you notice, there's stuff whited out in the back.
Well, what I've heard is just promotional artwork.
No, but I don't think it's the complete poster, because I think there's whited out stuff, like that they don't want you to see, like maybe Matt Smith or whatever, because there's a whole. It's whited out. You can't see it. I don't think that's the complete poster. I think when the full picture is revealed, you see how what I'm saying is getting white. That's not the way. They don't want you to see certain things. So
we're still waiting for the title.
Yeah. So, and I don't think it's the end anyway, but you know. Oh, we also got word about Space Jam 2 that the Walking Dead actress, who's also in Discovery. We're going to get to the article right now. She's probably going to be in Space Jam 2. So let's cover that. Let's see. Which is nice. I mean, that's good for her, man, that she's got, you know. What's her name? Sakina Martin Green. She's playing Sasha on Walking Dead. Yeah, she's going to be in talks to be in LeBron James' Space Jam movie.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. I guess it's going to be good.
Has anybody caught up with The Walking Dead or no?
No. I have stopped watching it, to be honest.
Well, I'm waiting for Scott to see it, but let's just say I'm caught up with it, and there was a lot of deaths.
Oh, Jesus.
Shocking. Last two episodes were shocking. A lot of deaths. Showing the severity of the situation with Alpha, which is huge. And I have to say I am enjoying it. Like, despite Rick not being there, I am enjoying it a lot. So I didn't think that was going to happen. But she is a villain, boy, like you wouldn't believe. Okay? So that is awesome. Okay. What else? Anything else? I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So Captain Marvel, you know, again, she's not $1 billion yet. She needs 82 million. Don't know what's going to happen with that. So
it's respectable, though. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure somehow she'll cross $1 billion, and then that'll be it.
So repeat, probably. I don't. Hopefully, repeat viewing. Like somebody say, "Hey, I like it. I'm gonna go back again and see it."
Like if she could pull off, if they could pull off money from foreign markets, like maybe 50 million, then she's got to do, you know, the difference, which she would do, and then that's fine. I mean, it's going to get, again, all the money, if you think about it, is coming from overseas mostly. Which let's go over that one more time before we go. I mean, she has 590 million from the foreign markets. Almost 600 million. She only has 327 domestically, which is not anything to shake. But you got to think, though, did it cost them $250 to make it? You know, and if it did or more.
So where is it at right now? Because they said there was a high box office, but I don't understand how that can be considered high.
Well, let's explain it. Basically, if they spend $250, right? Then it basically has a, let's see, $77 million profit. But that's not all. It has basically made $77 million extra domestically. But then you got to take the foreign number and you got to cut it down to, let's just say, what, half? Or not even? So if it makes $600 million, it made them $300 million, which is still... It's still overseas, so it's still profitability. But again, you want to have it do domestically mainly because that's when you get profit, really.
Do you think it was worth all the hype, though?
Well, you know what the thing is, I went in it thinking negatively of it and all this other stuff, and I just got the opposite. I didn't think I was gonna like it like that, though. You know, I really thought, oh, this movie's good. Because I'm like, which we're covering Brie Larson and her opening her mouth, and is a completely different animal from this role she's playing. Now, there were some things in there that bothered me, like Rowan the Accuser. They made him look like a little punk. He sucked. He was horrible. They had to throw throwbacks to Guardians of the Galaxy, like that other guy was in it, and I'm like, oh. But And then the big thing, okay, Nick Fury. Now, the Nick Fury thing, losing his eye to the cat.
Yeah, the cat was.
You know what? I warmed up to it because I'm like, yeah, you know what? The fact that this badass lost his eye to a friggin' cat is hysterical. And they played the role like you should have seen what happened to him. Like he took somebody out or something. Like it was like, you know, I took care of that Kree or something. Yeah. It's all bullshit. Yeah. It's like he lost an eye to a cat. So that was the thing. The one thing that bothered me a little bit was the fact that they tried to make it that she's the reason that they're doing the Avengers Initiative when that was not the reason at all. It was Captain America. Before her. Way before her. And they even called him an Avenger.
Yeah.
So, you know, the funny thing would be is to fix it saying that she was a fan of Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And she took the name Avenger from Captain America. Because I don't like it that they're trying to make it from her that they're getting the whole Avengers Initiative. Right. It just doesn't make sense.
She was born later than him, like way later. So
no, but I heard a legacy of his exploits from the World War. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like maybe her father or whatever, and then she liked, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have something like that in game. I don't know, but
what about Us? Do you think it deserved the hype that it's getting?
I mean, I think that they did a 180 because I think that this was not the plan.
Right.
To boost Captain Marvel, I think that they're like, oh, let's just do it. She's the MCU. And I'm like, well, wait a minute though, because see, not everybody's on board with that though. Even if I love the movie, which I did, I'm not on board with her being the face of MCU. Like, it's Spider-Man. It's this. Like, Spider-Man was supposed to be the face of the MCU. They kept saying this, but then when Sony made so much money, they're like, well, Spider-Man's not entirely ours. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to make him the face of the MCU, which is bullcrap because you don't say you're going to do it and then you change it. So I'm kind of like, you don't need to promote Captain Marvel like she's the end all and be all of the MCU. That is when the MCU falls apart.
Yeah.
Because you can't just have somebody swoop in and save the day. These guys have built up the MCU for 10 years. Now you have this Johnny-come-lately come in and I'm like the whole effing show. No, she's not. Uh-huh. So you can't. That's what I think. Maybe that's why the movie's failing now. Like correction, it's not failing, but it's dropping faster than expected. Because people are like, oh, they're not going to really do this, are they? They're not going to make her be Thanos and all that stuff. So that's the biggest fear with the Avengers.
What's that? Yeah.
And the way that they're talking, it's like shut the F up. Like they're still like, you promote the Avengers, don't promote her now. That's it. Just promote the Avengers, Don't make it like don't do that. And I think the Russos are going to make sure that they'll fix her, whatever's wrong with her, But, if you think about it, like, what is she going to do in the second one? It's like.
It's going to be too many people. They got to.
What are you going to do in the second one? I mean, I could see they could make a second one, but what is she going to do? Is there going to be a bigger threat? I mean, like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just, like I was saying, too, I was telling Chris last night, I said, The Inhumans was a mistake, and I knew they were going to keep that movie. The Eternals is a mistake. But what they're going to do with the Eternals is they're going to make it unrecognizable from the comics, and it's going to be a whole different thing. So you get Angelina Jolie because, I don't know now still because I'm still Marvel just killed off the Eternals in the comics.
Oh wow.
Shows how much you give a shit about them there. So like they got their ass kicked. It's like, I mean no. Don't make a movie of them, please. Just like Shang-Chi, right? Mm-hmm. I understand they want to have a diversity, right? But Shang-Chi was like Bruce Lee, like in the 80s. Like it was 70s. It was like in the 70s, it wouldn't work now. Like that was a different time. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they adapted Luke Cage and Iron Fist differently, but they were always together in the past. Mm-hmm. That's how they worked. When they tried to separate them, it didn't work. So, and another thing that I'm concerned with is that it's quite possible that Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage are not part of the MCU, regardless, because if they reboot them, you can't really reboot stuff if the Marvel Universe ain't changing the MCU. So if you have a new Daredevil and all that stuff in this movie universe, then that stuff is not part of it. It's just an alternate reality, just like we heard that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is an alternate reality. So, because they just said it weeks ago, they felt it was the same thing. Still, after all this, that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not the MCU. So, you know.
Oh, and to any viewers that's still on the fence about us, it's actually, to me, I think it's the PG-13. It just got the R rating because of the F-bombs. It ain't nothing.
Oh, there's a lot of F-bombs. Yeah, but
that's the reason.
Yeah, you can go see that. That was a great movie.
Oh, you know what? Somebody brought a baby to us, so it's for the whole family.
Oh my God.
There you go. Let's, hey, I mean, if they can put the news on, and sure.
God.
Maybe people just don't get it. Yeah, I know. I see that a lot, though.
Oh, man.
But just think that if something ever happened with that kid growing up,
yeah,
because he was traumatized watching, like, having that images when he was, like, that's like, come on now.
I just don't understand why people bring babies.
I don't understand either, and that happens, and I don't get it. I think that they just don't want to. They want to see a movie and they don't care, and they just don't get a baby.
Honestly, I thought that wasn't allowed because it's restricted. I didn't think that
I don't know.
Can get a baby. I mean, because that is too young. I thought it was like R is restricted. You're supposed to be above 17 to get into that movie.
Yeah. I want to cover something else on here too, and I'm going to be very sarcastic because it's warranted. Every single time, you know how I love to do podcasts, right, Ron? I love doing multiple podcasts, and Alex, I like doing that. And of course, we had some issues. Sometimes we're doing on Zoom, right? And I guess for whatever reason, YouTube don't like that for some reason, because they want you to use theirs, like Google Hangout. And then when we use Google Hangout, we have problems sometimes. Nothing is perfect. But every single time we do a stream like this, YouTube basically flags it.
Oh, God.
And not everybody can come in the live stream, and not everybody can see it. And this has been happening every single time. It's been happening so much that it's not even just a podcast. When I would put on my main channel a video just showing Shazam posters in New York, YouTube is flagging it. And the biggest thing is that they're flagging everything. And then I'll get emails early in the morning. Oh, hey, Matrix Low 212, want to let you know that your video from a month ago is now suitable for monetization. So now you can make money from it. Well, thank you for saying that Shazam posters are suitable, and all the money that it could have made, you just stopped for a whole month. Yeah. And now it is, which it's a month old. Just like the James Gunn video. We did a James Gunn video. Billy dropped the F-bomb. All of a sudden, boom, they demonetized it. I even put it in for review. They wouldn't do it. Wouldn't have it. So all these videos, every day I get emails every day from YouTube that, oh, they're okay. Your video's okay. But it's too late because you made the money. YouTube made the money. They made the money from my video. And they block me from getting that income. But then if it makes money after that date, then I make it. And that's not fair. Not fair.
Because I'm tempted. I mean, because I follow another podcast and they drop F-bombs like it ain't nothing. And I really want to ask this podcast, are y'all getting flagged for any of y'all things? I'm not trying to,
right.
I just want to generally know, are you getting flagged for any of the content that you post? Like they do this every week, like this one podcast.
We are getting hit every single day. And you know what? It kind of hinges you from wanting to do podcasts where you put all your effort into it, and now YouTube is going to make money from it, but you're not. And that's like, well, wait a minute now. Hold on. I'm not on board with that. So That's the whole point. And I see it already. It must be flagged because it's not showing up on my main page. So this is why one person got in, but then I got this little welcome to the chat garbage where, no, you shouldn't be blocking anybody from watching this. So, and the weirdest thing is that I have brand new channels that I'm doing videos with that doesn't get flagged at all, which thank God.
Yeah.
But this channel has been around for 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, why are you destroying this channel? Like, why you... People can't see it no matter what you do. And it's...
Well,
What, you sent me a link, Alex?
Yeah, just wanted to raise something in a minute, but I'll leave you to carry on.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to think. Go ahead, Vaughn. What were you going to say?
I was about to say, because it's just strange. Like, if this podcast that I'm about to ask about, if they're not getting flagged for any of the stuff they do, because they do copyright music, they do copyright music, they do a lot of cussing on there. I mean, it's a straight up, it's just somebody talking into a mic basically. But they're not getting flagged. Why the hell are you getting flagged?
This is the thing that bothers me. It's we used to do multiple podcasts a day. Now lately I haven't been doing multiple podcasts a day, but even less podcasts, and I'm seeing this happen all the time, and it's not there. They're literally making money, and I'm not allowed to until they decide it's okay. And I've been sending these videos over to Team YouTube on Twitter, and then they review it, and then they release it. But
so you have to send it through them to get it?
I'm constantly sending it because the thing is that when you do a video covering the news, it is time sensitive because if you break something like the news and they block it for a week, that video nobody's gonna watch it after like a certain amount of time because it's not gonna be news anymore. It's not gonna be hot. It's not gonna be it. So they're ruining my channel by doing that. And the weirdest thing is like we set this initiative that the Real Beans cast is probably not gonna happen that much because of no Doctor Who news.
Sure ain't.
So we made a decision to do multiple everything shows to replace basically that. And we have where we'll do 4 everything shows to 1 Real Who. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with what we do, but they're flagging them no matter what. So it's just and I see all the new YouTubers too. They have to have thousands of hours of content or watched whatever, and they have to have 1,000 subscribers. But they're never going to have that if you keep flagging the crap out of people. You're discouraging them from being YouTubers.
So okay, so what is the to get it monetized? You have to have the 1,000 viewers, right?
Well, everything of mine is monetized, but what they're doing now is they flag it where I can't make money from it because they says, Shazam posters in New York is not suitable for most advertisers. Well, yes, it is, actually. It is. And we've had this, and it went away for a while where my channel was good because they were flagging me when we tested it. Remember ABC 123 and all those stupid things? They were flagging that, me and a cookie. It went away. They stopped their stupid algorithm, whatever. And my channel was fine for a while. Now it's back to the same square one. Is that every single thing I upload flagged. Everything. Everything. And every day the emails pour in. And it's like, I didn't even know that video was, And then sometimes they pick videos from the past, which I already made money from, which would mean that they would take money away from my new stuff to get their money back.
Yep.
So I say the hell with it. I'm still going forward, but you know what? It makes me not want to then do a live stream because it doesn't matter. Because usually you make more money if you do a live stream, but now that's impossible. So it's back and forth to the Zoom. And it's, that's it. So, all right. So we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys.
No problem.
Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.